When I auditioned for the school play, I thought that I would get the role of my dreams. But I was wrong. I was casted as a tree. A literal tree. This made me feel so angry and, more importantly, like I wasn't seen. And it's this idea of being overlooked that leads me to the topic I was given today. Sky. When we look up toward the sky, we often only see the sky as a whole, but miss a lot of details that actually might be in the sky. Just because some things are overlooked, it doesn't mean they aren't important. So this speech is for everyone who was once disregarded, or still are. I just want you to know that you are seen. So let's explore this idea through three main examples. First, the comic Unordinary. Second, the book Legendborn. And finally, the historical figure Rosalind Franklin. Starting off with the first example, the comic Unordinary. This comic is about a world that is full of people who have their own superpowers. And in their world, one superpower level determines everything. The main character, John, was born with no powers at all, and he was beaten up by people every day at school, and no one listened to what he had to say, just because he didn't have a superpower. But he became sick of this treatment and this power-dictated hierarchy. So he decided to strive for a change, starting from a school. He helped start an organization that made sure people with no superpowers were safe and accepted. And that ultimately changed the entire world's view on power and how unfair their society had been. He went from being just overlooked and beaten to changing his school, the world, and his own fate. This leads me to the second example, which is the book Legendborn by Tracy Dean. Legendborn is a book about a girl named Brianna who discovers a secret society of people who fight demons that are invisible to normal humans. And she was just roped into this organization on accident, and people were very against her joining. The members of this organization were trained from birth to fight demons, and they all looked down on her because she was just still a normal human being and has never been trained. They went so far as to even sabotage her and try to kick her out. But despite being looked down on and discredited, she worked hard every single day and was able to ultimately lead their secret society to victory. She stood as an example that even as an overlooked person with no training, she could still get to where she is today. My last and final example is the historical figure Rosalind Franklin. Rosalind Franklin discovered the double helix structure of DNA, and without her contributions, the mystery of how life is passed down from generation to generation would still remain a mystery. Imagine that. Despite this, she was discredited just because of her gender, and instead, 3 other men were credited for the discovery of DNA, and they ended up winning the Nobel Prize for Physiology and Medicine. And poor Rosalind was even left out of their acknowledgement speech. Although she played a huge role in this and was overlooked, we will continue to remember her legacy today. So today, we explored the comic Unordinary, the book Legendborn, and the historical figure Rosalind Franklin. We remember how every person and character in those stories fought for their success, even though they were looked down upon. And the topic I was given today was sky. Just like how we overlook a lot of details in the sky, it reflects on how we often disregard things in our daily life. But that doesn't determine or downgrade each of its importance. Well, now I realize that even though I was casted as a tree, and I did feel disregarded at the time, I'm going to be the best tree this world has ever seen.